Hello all. Right. Today we are playing Star Wars, the good one, by West End Games back in the 80s, which was so well regarded that people working on the films had it on their bookshelf amongst their reference documents, and all the supplements which West End Games supplied to them for free. But yeah, it was held in high regard at the time, and it's still remembered very fondly by people. And even though it's been out of print for a long time, there are fan updates and fan versions. And at the recent Gen Con, it was up there amongst the kinds of game being played at that convention, even all these years later. And despite all the other versions of Star Wars games that have come out, none of which seem to have managed to displace Star Wars D6 from its throne. This is a reprint that was done of the first edition to commemorate God knows how many years it was since. There's some problems with these rules, so I will be playing a little bit fast and loose with the rules as they're written, just to make things move a little quicker and to make stormtroopers and so on appropriately cinematically incompetent. Here's how the system works. You have stats, you have skills under those stats, but you don't add the two together. Any skill bonuses are already added on. You take that many six-sided dice, hence the D6 system, one of which is a different color to the others, and you roll them and you add them all up. And if the special one is a 6, then you roll again and add that on. And if it's a 6 again, you roll again and you add that on until you stop rolling 6s. If you roll all 1s, I believe, at least in some versions, that's a botch. So that's what we'll be using here. You compare that total against a target number. If you exceed the target number, you succeed. If you get below the target number, you fail. And it's all pretty easy from there. Nice and lovely. All right, let's bring in the players. Unfortunately, we're down numbers tonight, so this is going to turn into a sort of buddy heist movie.
Hello.
Hello.
So, hang on. Mel Winius says, I've heard that there's a Rebel Scum TTRPG, so it's not the WEG D6 Star Wars. This is the WEG D6 Star Wars. It's just Rebel Scum is the title that I've given to it, because it has multifaceted meaning. There were supplements called Scum and Villainy, I think, and that's a faction in the X-Wing miniatures game. But that's about all, as far as I know.
Looks like Rebel Scum is a different, like Star Wars with the serial numbers off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
could be wrong
about that. Kit asks if there's a site that provides those bad recorder renditions. You just have to YouTube search for them. They're useful if you don't want to be copyright claimed. I find.
If anyone would like a custom one, I do own a recorder that I can play badly for you. I can play
the
it well,
trick is,
but that's not what you're asking for. So.
No. The Irons is fan updated, as in possible to be found at some internet corner to read in your faith PDF reader. Yeah, just look for it. They're currently working on a new version that is everything. So that the prequel movies, the original trilogy, and the expanded universe, but none of the sequels. So that's the new version they're working on. So, there we go. Okay, would you care to introduce your characters, which you've only just gotten to have a look at? And Simon, could you put your character's name on there?
Oh, yes, I can. I completely forgot that. I am Roog One Howl. I'm
Yes. You're a wolf person.
yes, I'm a wolf who's first mate to Captain Finn.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Captain Shia Finn, a devil may care space pirate in the conflict. Was able to get some lucrative opportunities, but now that it's at an end, things are getting rough again. And I think we've got a lead on some Imperial gold or Latin. No, that's Star Trek. Fuck. Imperial. What did they call it in Andor? It was just gold. Imperial credits. Yes.
Something worth a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah. Republic credits will be fine. Okay. So, following up on a bunch of leads, just recently the Empire appears to have collapsed since someone threw Palpatine down an elevator shaft, and he's absolutely dead and is in no way coming back at any point. Yeah. So yeah, the galaxy as a whole has kind of risen up. Finally, the spell has been broken. The Rebel Alliance is in the process of becoming the New Republic, but there are still Imperial holdouts and warlords everywhere. So it's basically the same sort of setup as in the first couple of seasons of The Mandalorian. Possibly a little earlier. So yeah, everything's a panic. Everyone's grabbing for anything that isn't nailed down or trying to carve out territory or find some way to defend themselves. And the ragtag band of rebels, many of whom were scoundrels and scum, like yourselves, are trying to either find a legitimate career that they can shift to, or becoming the new government, or as in your case, you probably can't civilize yourselves, so you're looking for that one big score that you can retire on as the galaxy takes on its new shape. So you've had a lead potentially on a treasure that may be found on the planet I made up, whose name I have consequently forgotten. That's not helpful.
You know the rule for making Star Wars planet names, right? You take a medication out of your cabinet and just drop some letters.
I did. What's the name I gave it? You can tell I'm prepared tonight, can't you? Roskar, that's what I called it. So yeah, Roskar is a partially destroyed planet with its still slightly molten core exposed to the elements of space, surrounded by a dense ring of asteroids, and it's also been used as a dumping ground for old and defunct tech for a really long time. So there's stuff going back to the war with the Separatists, and even before then, all kinds of junk and trash. But so many people have been picking over the bones for so long, and so much of it is tightly controlled by noble families that live on the blasted and barely habitable surface. There's not normally somewhere you'd think to go to pick stuff over, but it was an Imperial holding, so they may have been up to naughty things there. Maybe that's what this treasure is. You are supposed to meet a contact in Roskar's capital city in the next few hours. So you've recently arrived in system and drop out of light speed at considerable safe distance from the roiling mass of rocks and junk. You might find a random Star Wars name generator. That'll be useful. No, that's a lame one. There's got to be a better one. There we go. Okay, so there is a dealer in oddities and information called Groms, who you've had previous dealings with in this system, and he sent feelers out to you with the right code words that he may have stumbled onto that big score that you are looking for. So. Yeah, so you drop out of hyperspace into the system a good distance above this ring of asteroids and junk that is tumbling through space. It's quite a sight, this planet. The glowing and guttering exposed core, the shattered remnants of the planet, and the twinkling mass of metal shards and fragments of old ships of designs you haven't even seen before, can't even place, tumbling away against the blackness of space. What do you want to do?
All right. So I should set out maybe a coded message for Groms.
Yeah. So you can connect to the planet's communications net and send an encrypted coded message for Groms. All right.
Try to arrange a meeting.
Right. Let me just check your character sheet. Okay.
I've got 3D +1 on communications and mechanical.
Okay, so it's probably your job then.
So I'm rolling 3 dice and adding 1.
Yes, you roll 3 dice, one of which needs to be your other coloured dice. Total them all up and then add 1.
So I got 9 on that.
Okay, it's fairly simple to get hold of him, though. Yeah, the roll determines whether that may have been intercepted or not. You do have force points. When you spend a force point, you double your dice pool for that turn. So, pull that out when you're in deep shit, and it will help.
Double the die rolled or double the result?
No, double the number of dice that you have to roll.
Okay.
Okay, you get an acknowledgement signal and a coded message telling you to meet him at Nedjum's bar on the precipice.
All right.
Okay, hang on. I just got a message from somewhere. See if it's a new player wanting to join. No. Okay. So what do you want to do then?
All right, Rug. We're headed to the bar. We got to meet with Groms. Hopefully this leads better than his last. Should I navigate there, or is it just sort of an easy?
Well, this is not an easy system to navigate through, so I will make you make a roll. So, if you're piloting, so make it an astrogation roll, I think. And the ship has maneuverability 1d, so you add an extra dice.
All right.
Yeah.
15.
Okay, easy. So your ship is the Heart of Glass. It's Rendili Suron Starlight Freighter, which apparently is quite popular with gaming groups, but not a particularly well-known ship in the series itself. But if anyone cares, they can go and look it up if they want. All right, you plot a course with ease and shift the ship forward and swoop down, skirting the edges of the junk ring, and swoop in down towards the planet. There's barely any atmosphere left, so it's not particularly rough. You deploy your landing feet once you get clearance and swoop in over one of the cities that overlooks this enormous hole in the side of the planet, clinging to the edge of it and peering down into it in a rather vertiginous fashion. So you come swooping down in the near vacuum and land clunk, clunk, clunk on the 3 heavy feet, and a force field shimmers into view around you, and you hear pings as the atmosphere is pumped in and the pressure equalizes.
All right. I assume we can go this unarmed, Rogue, but I'm still going to carry my blaster.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place we should go unarmed.
Grom's is usually reliable, or at least wants to be, but All right. I'm gonna head straight to the bar, unless Rug, if you have any other like ideas or plan. I can't think of anything at the moment.
No, I think we just head straight to meet him.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's say you can have the droid PC as well, just to sort of back up to look after the ship and stuff while you're gone. So, yeah, GALT rumbles past you on his tracks and makes mournful booping noises that you're leaving. Well, mournful or grumpy, it's hard to tell. Okay, so you put your blaster in its holster and make your way down the gangplank and into the starport. It's a bunch of filthy barges, basically taking off and landing at all hours, either bringing in junk to be sorted and melted and sifted through for any remote valuables, or lifting off with whatever recyclable materials have managed to be gleaned from the ring. The starport plates and everything are filthy, covered in oxidized metal, oil, the dirt of centuries of stuff from these ships. You don't much care for it, and breathing it probably not necessarily the best plan. But you make your way forward and through what passes for customs here. Hang on, I got another message. Okay, Neil might come and join us in a bit after he's eaten.
So I'll look to Shear and say you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Every system's got one. But
okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch anything.
You're given a kind of cursory scan by the house soldiers and guardsmen from the local system. They're not paid enough for this shit. But once you pass through them and out from the entrance of the starport onto the main concourse, you see a tall man in slightly outdated but expensive clothing, sweeping his way towards you. He's got one of those shoulder cloaks sort of flapping behind him, and seems to have a small crew of old, prequel era battle droids scurrying along behind him. You there?
What? I raise my hands in shock. I don't.
So, yeah.
Do I know
He
what
comes up
Grom
and yes, you know what Groms looks like. He's
Okay.
a big fat Gamorrean, even for Gamorreans.
Okay, so this isn't him. All right. I
No.
just make like nothing's. What? We have all the proper permits for docking.
He sweeps up in front of you and adjusts his shoulder cloak. The battle droids sort of fan out around you, and everyone else in the vicinity makes themselves scarce in various directions. They bring up their ancient blasters and they're like, "Hold it!"
Hold what?
I'm hands are up. What, sir? I don't know what you need. This is sorry for whatever you must think I've done, but clearly it's not.
He takes a data pad out of a pocket from his jacket and reads it off. Sheer Finn, pirate, wanted by the Empire, given a tentative pardon by the New Republic. We intercepted a message from you to a known dealer and scoundrel, Groms, here on the surface.
Yeah, he's an old friend. Goes way back. In fact,
He's a
you're
criminal.
Well, I don't know anything about that. His business is his business. I served my time in the I fought for your freedoms. And I don't want to hear none of this ungrateful talk after we spent years taking on 2 Death Stars.
Out here, we didn't have much in the way of dealings with the rebellion, and we had to make dealings with the Imperials. There are many sympathizers still here, and there are still holdout systems not so far from here. I'm just saying, watch yourself and don't cause trouble, because this pardon from the New Republic doesn't hold much weight around here.
All right, understood. Wasn't planning on starting nothing, just having a conversation with an old friend.
Oh, and I suppose it's coincidence that not a moment after you land, a Star Destroyer appeared in system.
I don't know anything about that.
Maybe they're just looking for scrap.
They're looking for something, but so far they haven't communicated with us. Just watch yourself. We've got our eye on you.
All right, thank you for the warning. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience.
The battle droids, move to parade rest and sling their weapons back in their frames. Quite a few bits of paint flake off when they do that. They're not in the best of shape. Right, with me, Raja.
All right, I'm gonna just sort of like slink away. Gesture for Roog to follow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of bare my teeth at the droids as I walk past them, but follow.
All right. So the precipice, there's like a lip that overhangs the massive hole down towards the planet's core, and disconcertingly, it's got see-through floors. So you can actually see down into the yawning void below and the roiling, burning planetary core of molten iron, all those thousands of miles below. It's dizzying. But fortunately, there's plenty of stuff around to distract you from the horror of the deep below you. There are all manner of shops, market stalls, all higgledy-piggledy, one on top of the other. People selling their finds that they've found in the junk ring. Bits and pieces, rare parts, old parts, things that just look fancy, good luck charms for prospectors. Yeah, all of that sort of thing. All of the galaxy is represented here. You pass by a couple of Jawas arguing over droid parts. You pass by a Mandalorian who looks like he's about to kick off to a stall holder. who seems to have most of the parts of some kind of huge war droid hanging from hooks behind them. It's all a bit disconcerting. But Groms, he can usually be found somewhere you eat, and that is exactly where you find him. There's a market stall with some dubious street meat bubbling and broiling away, rotating slowly on skewers, and Groms is sat at one of the benches with a trough of what you assume must be food, shoveling it into his grunting gob.
Groms, you're looking good. Been working out, right?
He flexes his arms, and the fat briefly moves up a couple of millimeters and then sags back down into his enormous green bingo wings. Let me just send Neil the link of the game. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so he looks back to you with his piggy little eyes, licks his lips of the gravy that's adorning them, and says, looking good, Finn.
Ah, you charmer, as always. So let's get down to business here.
Business already? No foreplay?
Apparently, my pardon doesn't hold up in these parts, so I need to be quick and efficient.
Nah, stuffed shirts. Everyone's just scared about how things are going to turn out. Nobody really wants to be civilized,
Nah, not like us. Not like us. We're a dying breed.
He pulls a frog out of the trough and offers it to you, dripping greenish gravy. Want some?
Oh, no, I had that for lunch.
I'll
Not
take
twice
some.
a day.
I could go for some food.
All right, he plops the frog into your hand, where the gravy instantly mats your fur.
I'll eat it and lick my paw clean, I guess.
You're, descended from canines, and I've seen dogs eat shit, literally. So it's probably tastes pretty good to you.
Yeah.
Bit spicy. So, yeah. He casts his head about to make sure no one's too close. And then, with some effort, lifts some of his fat and takes a small device off his belt and puts it on the bench. And it makes a little whirring noise and throws up a white noise screen around you. So, I've got a lead on something special. The imps used to have a little research base out in the ring. They were cooking up something a bit special. Could be worth a lot, especially to your kind of people, I'm thinking.
What do you mean, your kind of people?
Pirates, dashing scourges of the space lanes, that sort of thing.
I
If not,
think of us as intergalactic traders rather than pirates, but
freelance grey market traders. I mean, if you don't want it, presumably you can still sell it. The huts are always in the market for that sort of thing.
So, research facility. I've heard some horror stories about Imperial research facilities, but what kind of research facility? Biological?
Word is a much more efficient and a lot smaller interdiction device. That is, stop people jumping to light speed. Normally, you need a great ship to do that. But apparently, this thing could fit on a freighter, like yours, say. Bit of a power hog for a ship that size, but possible. I mean, if you're a pirate, stopping people getting away seems like a good bet to me.
And I'm sure the New Republic is going to need something to fight the remnants.
Yeah, if you want to be
But
boring.
We're definitely not going to use that ourselves.
Well, if we're
Of
trying
course
to go
not.
legit.
Why would you go legit?
I don't know. You make a good point.
There's still money to be made while the chaos lasts, and you know the Republic owes you favors. For a while, they'll turn a blind eye, right? As long as you hit the right people. You know, corporations like Sinar or Imperial Remnants or other pirates. You know, I think they'd be fine. So
Would it stop the Star Destroyer that's currently parked up there from jumping to light speed?
hypothetically, yeah,
We could do
works.
with a new ship.
You got the crew for a Star Destroyer?
I'm sure we could find it if we got one.
Or we could strip it down.
Ambitions.
Oh, yeah, the parts would be worth a fair bit.
You're ambitious, Roog. I've always liked that about you. You know, if any dog was going to catch a speeder, it'd be you, and you'd know what to do with it.
Either way, we're going to need the device first.
Right. So, yeah, my spacing days are behind me. They don't even make spacesuits in my size anymore. And I'm not as athletic as I once was, despite your lovely compliments. But I figure whatever you make from the device, cut me in for a third. Seems fair, seeing as I pointed you in the right direction.
And if we keep it?
25%.
A third, right? If you keep it, a third of your profits, drop and buy, you know, once a cycle, you know, that'd be fair. If you sell it, 33% of the gross.
Third of the profits in the first 2 years. We don't know what's going to happen with the Empire gone. You might not want to be coming back here.
Right. Well, you know, I'll be moving on eventually. I'm running out of local information. Thought I might retire somewhere like Tatooine or something, you know, the quiet life, moisture farming, something like that.
Yeah. So two years of the first 2 years, 33% of our takings using it.
Hold on, where's that extra?
We're not going to use it because that would be a naughty pirate thing to do. But if we were to use it, then 33% for the first 2 years.
Sounds fair. Captain, you on board?
Yeah, that's fine. Roog, you've got the better head for this than I do.
I'll drop it to 30% if you give us a kiss, Finn. He grins, showing off his broken, decaying tusk.
Finn will smile and immediately just go deadpan. No.
I'll go up and lick his face.
Close, but no cigar. No, sorry, no death stick. Right. Well, he wipes his hand on his shirt, which somehow makes his hand dirtier, and then takes out a data spike. Everything you need to know is in there. I got it from an Imperial deserter. I've checked it out on the quiet. Seems legit.
Right, I'll scroll through that. It's all pretty straightforward, I take it. Anything of note?
Yeah, you plug it into your tablet computer and quickly scroll through it. You know, it's wireframe maps of the ring and coordinates, cross-referencing. A lot of the data on this spike seems to be redacted or removed, but the coordinates are right. But it says it's an Imperial reclamation unit.
In response to Johan, I'm a dog. I lick my balls and my ass.
We know where it's been. It's been on a Gamorrean.
All right.
Right. He picks up his privacy device and pops it away. I'll leave you to it. Let me know how you get on.
I'm sure we'll be back here very soon.
By dint of mighty effort, he gets up onto his wobbling legs and heaves off down the path.
So we do this, just the two of us, no backup. I think there's some people I can drop a line to.
I think we should keep it a small group going in. I don't think we want to spread this around too thin. If it's something that can fit in our ship and stay in our ship, we're already giving away 33% of the profits. If there's any
Only 2 years.
specialists that we could involve, maybe get them in. Cost
Slicer
of a
would be
player.
nice.
Well, we have our mystery extra crew member at some point.
Yeah.
Just trying
And
to
you've got-
foreshadow.
Yeah, and you've
so
got GALT who doesn't need to be paid. So, got a droid.
Robot slaves for the win.
Yes.
Not much of a galt if he's not turning down pay.
Well, if he ever gets free, you pesky meat slabs are probably in for it.
All right.
Okay, I'm sure he's got a restraining bolt.
Probably 2 or 3 just to be sure.
Back up.
Yeah. Triple redundancy. All right. Do you want to pick up any equipment or anything while you're here?
Does anyone have any
Do we have-
self-healing stem bolts?
A what now?
It's a reference to Star Trek, isn't it?
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, DS9. Because Nog buys a whole bunch of them and is trying to sell them to anybody and everybody.
There's kind of a running gag with them in DS9, which I think is also in Discovery at one point as well.
Probably. There are, but you have plenty on board ship.
So do we have any credits or?
Yeah, I will just hand wave it so long as it's reasonable. If you want
Okay.
to get anything special, but you've got vacuum suits. You may not need them if the place is intact. You've got your weapons. You've got tools, salvage gear.
Do we have medical equipment?
Yes, you've got a medical bay with some slightly past its sell-by date back to for healing, and basic surgical things like closing wounds and so on. Nothing major. But
This place is probably full of stormtroopers. Do we want to get some stormtrooper armor to at least look the part when we walk in?
I might as well, or some gray suits.
It's not going to
Depend on
fit
the
me
officer.
because, I'm a dog. But
Right, they didn't employ your kind. If only you had just been a blue person, would have gotten away with it.
well, a blue person who also happens to be a military genius. That's how you can play it.
What about how are we going to disguise you, Rug?
we could take me in as a prisoner.
Oh, all right. That's always an easy one.
Or you could masquerade as a bounty hunter.
Oh,
Oh,
bounty hunters. All right. That's a good one too.
So
I've
do
got
you
a
want
price on my head with the Empire, though, because they're going to
to...
potentially recognize me.
You were kind of wanted, but you weren't like massively high profile, so you should be able to get away with it.
Okay.
I was known for my gaudy appearance, so I'm guessing I should probably tone that down.
Yeah.
I'll get one of those whatever that suit Leia wore, one of those helmets.
Oh, the rebel outfit.
Yeah, some kind of,
or the disguise.
Yeah, some kind of face covering helmet.
Yeah, I mean there are sets of stormtrooper armor on sale on various market stalls and shops. There's plenty of that going around.
The AK-47 of the post-Soviet era.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Let's get some stormtrooper gear because it worked twice on them. They don't seem to be catching on.
Okay. Quite a lot of it has, fairly obvious blast marks and stuff on it. But there is one stall that's selling almost pristine stormtrooper armor.
All right. Yep.
I could
haggle.
probably clean it up.
Yeah, you probably could.
Take skill.
You look over a row of helmets and chest plates and things in various sizes. You can't actually see the proprietor, but then there's a clank and a little step ladder is put in place behind the counter, and a very small furry thing like a tiny Wookiee that you've never seen before climbs up the steps.
For the selling the armor?
Yes, this would appear to be the shopkeeper.
Those two, the ones the ones with the least amount of damage.
Okay. He gabbles away in some dialect you have absolutely no idea of, gathers up the bits of the armor that you point to, puts it all in a burlap sack, and then gestures to you, sort of counting and knocking to show how many credits he wants.
I will offer 75% of whatever he's asking.
Okay. You're trying to haggle with an Ewok. Therefore, they are cannibals. Let's see. Yeah, make a bargain roll.
Is the Ewok cartoon considered canon?
I don't know.
8.
8.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, somehow he manages to completely bamboozle you, despite you not speaking the same language, and you end up paying 25% more than you intended to.
Ah, frag.
But he did give you a really nice necklace made of animal teeth as a bonus.
I will put that on, but probably have to take that off as soon as we go on board the Imperial facility.
They're not dog teeth, are they?
No, they're not dog teeth.
Okay.
No two teeth seem to be from the same animal. All right. Anything else?
We got our disguises.
Can I see if a stormtrooper helmet fits over my head?
Probably not. It's your snout that gets in the way.
Maybe if you look down.
You could wear one of those kind of swept back bucket helmets. Those would fit.
Would I have to wear that back to front for the snout to fit?
No, because it doesn't come down over the front. It just goes back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would work. I just need to look imperial enough.
Yeah. Imperial-ish. Enough to make them pause for a second. Okay, yeah, you can get that, no problem.
All right.
All sorted?
Yep.
Okay. Let's make your way back to the ship. GALT has just been trundling around doing routine maintenance. Makes a few complaining, burbling beeps and farting noises when you arrive back on the ship.
Yeah. I know.
Beep boop.
I'm gonna upload the coordinates so he can have access to them.
Yeah, he trundles over to the bank of computers and sticks his little interface plug in it. Right, you have the coordinates locked in. All that remains is to go there.
All right. This is it's a derelict facility for the most part, but there's still some remnants.
From the information you've got, it was just basically abandoned. The Imperials there hightailed it out of there when the Empire fell or began falling.
That Star Destroyer.
Yeah, that Star Destroyer turning up right now is a bit worrying, but there's no telling why it's here, really.
I say we go in disguised anyway, in case they're looking too. If they show up, we can say we were on order from another Imperial faction.
I agree.
Okay. All right. This is going to be a more challenging act of piloting. So Rug should probably do the piloting this time. It's not just plotting a course. So it'll be space transports skill under mechanical with a bonus of plus 1d for the maneuverability.
And I have exploding sixes, don't I?
Yes. So if you roll a 6, add that on and then re-roll and add on the new roll.
Is that on every die or just the special die?
Just the special die.
Oh, just the special die, okay.
Yeah.
We don't add any on.
Okay.
18.
All right.
Oh, plus 1, 19.
19. Okay. That's pretty good. Okay. So you lift off, retract the landing legs, and swoop off from the planet, rapidly ascending until you reach the outskirts of the ring. And you slow down and have to duck in and out. So the course you've plotted is where presumably it should be, but things in the ring don't necessarily stay on the same path. But it's not too far from where it should be. You pass by the hulk of an old Republic battlecruiser, and past the remnants of that, there's a large chunk of what used to be part of the planet, which seems to have the telltale signs of Imperial stuff sort of encrusting it and sticking out at the front. There's like a letterbox cut out of the regolith, and while there's no lights or anything on, it seems like that's where you could land.
All right, you want to take us in?
Yep.
Okay. So you swoop in, and as you enter the asteroid, the camera turns away, and we see the Star Destroyer in the distance, and then one by one, little lights pop out from underneath it and spread out in all directions. Okay. The atmospheric shield is not functioning, so the dock is exposed to the atmosphere, and there's no gravity. So there's a bunch of small rocks and things that have infiltrated from outside, and there's a bunch of floating crates, grav lifters, and things all floating about inside this area. It's got enough room for maybe 2 freighters of your size or bigger, or 1 YT-2000 style freighter, so 1 Millennium Falcon or 2 smaller vessels, like 2 Imperial shuttles could fit in here, perhaps, maybe. But it's pretty small, and there is junk floating everywhere. As you fly in, you can't help but bump a few things and send them flying. But, you know, you're a spaceship. You can handle a couple of small bumps.
So the station's hull has been totally breached. Would there be any possibility to turn back on the artificial gravity?
You know, flip on your lights, and they shine out and illuminate most of this area. It looks like the actual chambers of the place are sealed off by blast doors. So in theory, you could get the power back on, and so you could restore gravity and seal the entrance and pump whatever air they've got left into the place, which would make it a lot easier to get around.
I'll turn to Galt. Any way you can get into the systems here, get the gravity.
Sorry, you're cutting out a bit.
Oh, I'm going to turn to Galt and say,
Yep.
Any way you can get the gravity back on, get our systems running.
Somehow he shrugs, which isn't easy when you don't really have shoulders, and makes a long, low noise, but then seems to consider it. The various rings around his torso section spin, and then he makes a more positive beep.
All right, what if we can get you patched into the main computer?
It sort of rocks slightly from one tread to the other, which seems to mean yes.
All right, Rug. We're going to have to space it until we get to the central computer here.
Okay.
All right. So you dig out your vacuum suits and suit up, while GALT just sits by the airlock, radiating evil and malice. And you're suited up, ready, and the 3 of you pass through the airlock and outside. You've got magnets on your boots, so you're able to sort of clamp down onto the floor. At least you hope this is the floor. Yeah, the writing and so on seems to be on here. So yeah, this is the floor, not the ceiling. You're 99% sure.
All right. Let's keep moving forward.
So yeah, you've got this bay here. There are a couple of storage rooms with closed off blast doors either side. There seems to be a main entrance blast door, and on either side of it are big windowed sections where security and probably some scientific observers could watch this area and see what was coming in and out.
Is there any like wall terminal to try and get into the blast door?
There's no power at the moment, so can't really hack into a blast door.
Right.
JALT uses some gas thrusters to position himself, and then sort of looks from one door to the other and then pointedly looks at you.
Should we just blast our way in?
I think we may have to.
So head back to the ship, take one of the turrets, blow a hole. Not sure how we're going to patch that up.
JLT jets forward in front of you slightly as you're on your way back, and then extends many of his various tool arms and things, and then zaps a small fragment of something with an electric jolt, and then turns and looks at the doors again, and then back at you.
Can you cut a hole in that?
Bidoop.
Can you power it long enough to just open it?
Rocks his head case backward and forward.
All right. Let's go with that then.
Okay, let's head over to the door.
Which one?
The one that he looked at.
Okay. Yeah, so he uses his gas thrusters to go to the main door that seems to lead back into the further back into the asteroid. Jets himself down to the ground and trundles off to one side, goes and cuts off a panel which floats away, and then jabs his electro prod into the mechanism and dumps a whole load of power into it. Right. So, hello there.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yo.
Let me share the character sheets with you. 1 second. So, in private chat.
Thank you.
Yes, your mysterious extra crew member can turn up. I think your talents would be wasted as being the droid and just going beep boop.
Good old that guy.
All right. So 4 plus the tools. Ooh. Okay, this is 9, 15, 16, 17, 21. Okay, yeah, it dumps a whole bunch of power into the blast doors and then hooks into the computer interface for the door, and the doors go and slam open, and a whole bunch of stale gas comes careening out of the hole, threatening to blow you all off your feet. Can you make strength rolls, please?
Yes. $12.
Can I use
13. Sorry, forgot the +1.
Can I
So-
add a die for my cyborg arm?
Yes.
All right. $10.
Okay, and
Oh wait, no, 12 plus 2.
okay. Galt, however, is blown back away from the door and goes tumbling, and somehow misses your ship entirely and goes tumbling out into space. He'll probably be back because he's got those little thrusters, so you don't need to worry too much. You do kind of need him to jumpstart the power grid, though. Yeah. The blast of gas slowly stops, leaving glittering ice crystals in the frozen air. But you can get in.
All right. Enough power to shut it behind us.
Yeah,
Are we
it's,
good?
it's
All right.
fading quickly, but yeah, you can shut it behind you once Gold comes tootling back towards you. I take it that means you've chosen Leisha.
Correct.
Awesome. Right, she's been here the whole time.
Jolly
Okay.
good. Hurrah!
And you were listening, so I don't need to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Don't need to catch you up. Okay. So Leisha is a Twi'lek and a bit of a rogue. She's an ex-slave with a massive chip on her shoulder, but she's fallen in with you guys somehow. So a bit of a chancer. Good at first aid. Bit of a rogue. That's the type, really.
I prefer to think of myself more as a sort of, move fast and break things entrepreneur.
Yes. All right. Okay, so you pass the blast door. Yeah. Leisha joins you. Galt comes pootling in after you, and then you slam the blast doors shut. Right. So there is a very broad corridor, suitable as like a vehicle lift, or bringing heavy and large pieces of equipment in and out of labs and so on. At the far end of that, there's another blast door. There are two smaller blast doors either side, leading into presumably the science station and the security station.
I think we should check out security first, make sure there's nothing online, any defense systems.
Okay. So, okay. Galt uses his gas jets to get over to that panel, cuts the panel off again, and sends it hurtling away down the corridor in a fit of pique. Zaps it with power to bring power up to that, and then hacks it. Takes him a little bit longer than the main blast door did, but it is the security station, so that's only to be expected. But then finally, the door hisses really quickly, but then gets stuck about halfway. So you're going to have to squirm through to get inside. Fortunately, Galt is small, so he can just jet through, no problem. There's a couple of Imperial blaster pistols just floating around in the void. A couple of tablet computers, data spikes. There's an array of Imperial screens and computers, all dead, no lights. You're pirates and rogues and scoundrels and villains, so you know that these are all sort of scanning devices, things for activating the full-on force field that the thing's supposed to have sometimes, the limited weapon systems and so on, but all of it's powered down at the moment.
All right. There's no way to restore power from this location.
If you could get more power into the computer terminals here, the security station should have access to backup systems and so on. So you should be able to activate backup power from here, but you need to get one of the terminals powered up.
Galt, we need you to be our power generator again.
It issues a low buzzing through the comm link that sounds like angry bees, and then floats over to the appropriate terminal and jolts it.
Does Leisha have any computer skills?
None whatsoever, as far as I can tell.
No, more of a con artist, gambler, persuader, pickpocket, streetwise sort of thing.
All right.
Yeah,
Somewhat.
Rug has tech, right? Or my plan was to basically give us all like an ID badge and turn on the security for anyone coming behind us.
I mean, I've got Starship shields. Would that count as something that could turn on the security?
You could turn on the shield system. I mean, you only really need to roll if you want to do anything funky with it.
Oh, I've got security as well.
Oh,
There you go then.
Yeah. So I could turn on the security with my security skill.
Yes. Right. But yeah, so Galt gets the panel fired up and activates the backup power. So low lighting comes back up. A few more panels light up. The gravity comes up slowly, so everything drifts to the ground rather than just abruptly going crash. And out through the window where you can see your ship, there's a brief flash of static as the atmosphere shield comes up. And through the vents, you feel a very slight, languid, barely working breeze start up, suggesting that things are being very slowly pressurized.
Rug, can you make sure we're all whitelisted for the internal security?
I can certainly try. Well, I rolled a 2 1s and a 4, so probably not.
The best you can do is issue you all those little Imperial ID badge things, but for visitors, give you very limited access rights to the structure.
All right. We'll have to do.
Yep. Visitor badge as it is.
Yeah. So everyone gets one of those.
With the one being on my other coloured dice, do they have our real names on?
No, it has to all be ones to botch, I think.
Okay.
I did introduce a rule in games I've written on D6s where the ones implode, so you take them away and keep running, but we're not using that.
Yes,
right. Your suits beep and inform you that the air outside is now breathable.
All right. Breathable. I'm gonna. Can you check if there's any kind of airborne anything in here that we would be concerned about, Galt or Rug?
Let's see.
Or is that something I can just pull up, like air quality?
Your suits aren't that good. Galt can use his sensors. Yeah. Well, I haven't died yet. Galt makes positive bleeping noises about the air when you ask.
All right.
Boop, beep, boop, boop.
Switch from the helmet to my my space pirate, space bounty hunter mask.
So, just quickly, Ephemeral God has said in your server that they would love to have taken part. Is there room for
okay.
another?
There is room for another.
Because they are also on the Twitch stream, according to the chat log.
Okay. I somehow missed that one.
It's not too late then, I guess.
No. A minute to see if he can join. So yeah, Ephemeral, if you're still watching and taking into account lag, check your Discord and if you want to join us, you can. I will sling an invite. Sorry if things are a bit disjointed, people at home, but we had a bit of a scramble for players.
Let's put on the little Native American technical difficulties.
So while we're sorting this out, Grim, where can people find out about this game if they would like to play Grimstreams?
If you would like to play on a Grimstreams game, I do post about them to my social media, so Facebook and Twitter/X. So keep an eye on my socials or join my Discord. You can find a link for that on my main channel. I don't know if it's in the information for this channel or not. I should probably get that organized. So yeah, if you want to join in any games, let me know. The project at the moment is to play everything on my shelves that I haven't yet played. So we've played Barbarians of Lemuria. We've played Pilgrims of the Flying Temple, or tried to.
Poisoned, that was a good one.
Poisoned, yeah, we played that one. A whole bunch of stuff. Upcoming games include Star Blazer Adventures, Hero Quest, Earth Dawn, Tunnels and Trolls.
I'm sorry, did you say Hero Quest?
I did. Not the board game, the Glorantha story gaming ring questy thing.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, I went right to the board game.
Okay, let's keep going. And if Ephemeral can join us, he will. All right. So yeah, you've got atmosphere, you've got basic lights. It's all a bit spooky and low lit though.
All right. We've got our IDs. If there's any, once we get into wherever this device is, we're probably going to need something better, but
Yeah.
take it as we go.
But I mean, there's nobody here, so you could take your time cutting through stuff if it comes to that.
I'm concerned about those lights coming out of that Star Destroyer.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's press on down the science wing.
Okay. Okay. So GALT rumbles over to that side. Again, cuts off the panel. This time, he flings it angrily to the floor instead of it spinning off into space. Plugs in, twists back and forth, different concentric circles until the door slides open. There's stuff all over the floor in here. Most of it tablet computers and data spikes. There's a big board which lights up in Orabash and various sigils meaning various things. This is shipments that were supposed to arrive, so all the dates are overdue and everything's flashing red. Shipments of various kinds of metals, materials, data chips, personnel records, all that kind of thing. So this seems to be where they coordinated all of the supplies, which departments it was supposed to go to, all of that sort of thing.
Is there anything indicating the location of the, or like a classified area or something that would raise?
Yeah. So they've got various sections: materials, recovery, data science, and then there is a secure wing, which presumably is where what you want is.
How close is that to us?
So, judging from the chart and from the computer here, you can bring up an image, a 3D projection. So you came in like that, right? There were side areas for storage. You had the science observation and the security observation either side. Through the blast door at the end, you should be into a sort of central area, and then radiating off that are the various labs, and the secure wing is straight on.
All right. Seems like a straight shot.
Do we know how large this device is?
Small enough to fit on your ship, but
Small
presumably quite big other than that. But also presumably it should be able to fit through these big blast doors.
And we can just turn off the gravity and shove it.
That'll work.
Leisha looks skeptical of that notion. Is there perhaps a some kind of cargo? Presumably, since we've just come in essentially through the cargo doors, is there any kind of interior cargo lifting vehicle or device?
Yeah, there are those gravity sled things that are used for moving heavy stuff around.
Okay, well now we've got a destination. She will go and retrieve one of those, assuming it's working.
Okay. While the others and GALT muscle up to the interior blast door, you go scampering back, ready to get one of those things. Mm-hmm. Just a sec. Hello there.
Hello.
Yo.
Let me just give you the links to the characters.
All right.
And obviously the ones people have taken are taken. So
Right.
and he's been here the whole time.
Are we still giving the fat mob boss 33%?
Well,
That
I
was
mean,
the deal.
33% of your cut, as I understand it. I wasn't there.
Yes, you were.
Fine. That's you get a one-time consulting fee for this job.
Right. Can Leisha make a perception roll, please?
Yes, so I was only half paying attention to the mechanics at the beginning, so I've got under perception 4D plus 2.
So, yes. So let me just look at your character sheet.
As a kind of headline stat, and then I've got search and sneak at 5 dice.
Yes. So we'll take search. So that's 5 dice. So you need 5d6.
Yep.
One of which should be different from the others, or that you can pick it out.
Yep.
You roll them, you add them together. If you get a 6 on the
6
special
is
dice,
exploding. Yep.
but only on that dice.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so I did get a 6 on my purple dice, and that's actually a very good roll. What a waste. So 6 followed by a 5 is 11, 17, 22, 26, 27. All top.
Okay. Nice. Right. So, yeah, there's a few of these things in here. Some of them are a bit bent and buckled from being bumped around while the station was open to the vacuum of space and so on. But you spot one of them that seems to be okay. So you start heading over towards it, and then out of the corner of your eye, you see the atmospheric shield flicker for a moment.
Indicative of an approaching vessel?
Or indicative of something passing through the atmospheric shield. It could just be a rock that's drifted too close, but probably not.
Right, and I can see sort of like the entry. You know, when the Triderium shuttle flies into the Death Star, it's kind of a large hatch type thing. So
Yeah, this
clearly,
one's a bit smaller, but
yeah,
same
but it's
principle. Yeah,
it's clearly not a vessel of any substantial size because I'd see it. So it's
you'd
something
see
smaller
it.
than that.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
at the edge of your hearing, you hear droid noises. Beat did a bit it. Beat did a bit. Beat did a bit it. Beat did a bit.
Imperial code.
You would probably know, actually.
Knowledge streetwise.
Yeah, make a streetwise roll.
Okay. 3 dice. That is 11, 13.
Okay, it is Imperial probe droid chatter.
Am I in radio communication with my colleagues?
You've all got comlinks, so yeah.
But the chances are that it'll be scanning frequencies. So that's unwise. Okay, I'm immediately going to, as stealthily as I possibly can, without using any electronic communication, head back to where I assume they are still. Blast doors.
Okay, make a sneak roll.
Sneak 5 dice. Okay, that's a 9, 10, 11, 14, 17.
17. Okay. Wow, that's a terrible roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Somehow, despite having to slip through enormous blast doors that go, it completely fails to notice. So you manage to slip through. Looking back through the tiny armored window on the blast door, you see the probe droid moving around your freighter out there, scanning it.
Okay, from where I left them, are they within shouting, like loud shouting range, my compatriots?
Yes, and the blast door should prevent the droid hearing you through it.
Exactly. So, company, gentlemen.
Right, and you have been joined, or have had all along, your friend and crewmate, Dan Chiladas, or Chiladas if you prefer. He was a stormtrooper. He deserted before the Empire was defeated, but he's kind of on the run and has been with you for a while.
Oh, so congratulations. You're a traitor to both sides. Well done.
I do my best.
Okay, but you're all hanging out at the rear blast door watching GALT try to hack through it. Ephemeral, how much were you here to hear about? Do you know what's going on?
No. I just all I know is they were breaking into somewhere.
Okay, let's put someone on the spot. Okay, someone fill him in on what the whole thing is.
All right, so there's a device that stops ships from jumping to light speed. We were tipped off by one of our contacts, Gamorrean, who let us know about it, thought it would be good for our line of work. We have pardons from the New Republic, but this is still sort of frontier imperial space, so we're wanting to keep our heads down. We went off to find it, offered him 33% for the first 2 years of our work while using this device, and we managed to get the security systems online here. We can have visitor IDs to make sure they don't blast us, but something just followed us because there's a Star Destroyer that ended up in the system right when we came around? Am I missing anything?
No, I think that's about it. You're all pirates and
Right.
scum, so you don't really fit in with either the Imperial remnants because you used to side with the rebels or with the New Republic because they're all getting serious about government and police and shit like that.
Yeah.
Boo. Yeah. You're no more of a traitor than the rest of us.
Just to be clear, we're actually breaking into a deserted, inverted commas, Imperial facility.
Okay.
Yes. So the device that you're after is an interdictor device, but supposedly this was a cutting-edge prototype that was much smaller and could fit on small ships.
Okay.
All right. JLT finally finishes hacking the main blast door, and it opens up abruptly. Clang.
Right?
And then he trundles on through on his tracks.
Wrong way, dummy. Come and lock this door first.
Meh.
All right, lock this behind us, and I guess Dang, you take point.
All right.
Okay. One second.
Y'all did hear me, right? I did say that there's an Imperial scout droid in the loading bay.
Oh yeah, well that's why I thought we were closing the door behind us, locking it.
But we had an initial blast door which we could have locked and still been on, and had another blast door because we've just opened a second one, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
didn't
But GALT refused.
to go back. Oh well.
Yeah. This one, however, he murders another panel on the other side of the door and racks it closed, closes the secondary blast shield down, then backs away from the door. From one of his many ports, a little clawed hand with a holdout blaster appears, and he repeatedly shoots the door locking mechanism.
Nice.
Did I say lock, or did I say permanently disabled to trap us all in here? I really can't. In all this confusion, I just can't remember.
His little optical unit sort of twists left and right as if he's like, side eye. Well, I did what you asked.
Got to get that restraining bolt checked. The second and third as well.
It seems like he needs a wife.
He projects out another little arm and zaps you on the buttock.
Watch it, droid.
Meh. Right, this is a big central area. It's mostly data banks. It's got a big sort of sunken section similar to what you see on Star Destroyers, where people would have worked at their workstations and their supervisors could walk around above them looking imperious, suitably imperious. And then there's various doorways around the outside to the different sections, the material science, the data science section, the recovery section. And then on the far side, there is a much more complex and impressive looking door, and maximum security is stenciled above it.
All right.
I did hear the part about the probe droid. We hear that and see that in here.
No, you'll just have to take Leisha's word for it. At the moment, if she's telling the truth, then it's still in the port section.
Okay. Well,
Landing bay, I should say.
I'll take point. Walking slow. Looking around.
There doesn't seem to be much of anything here. You do hear a slightly sad beeping, and looking down, you see a mouse droid on its back with its wheels trundling in the air.
What are you doing, friend? Flip it back up.
Sorry, did you say you're turning it back over?
Yeah.
Okay, you passed the void comms test. It trundles backwards and forwards a bit, and for want of anything better to do, it wheels in behind you.
Galt, this thing gets your job if you keep screwing around.
So there's computer terminals down in the workstations. What do we have? There would be some up top too, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of commander stations, but they're more like lecterns almost. So, officers would stand in front of them, look down on the peons and check their work.
Well, this might be a good place to find information if we can access their data from here.
Yeah, everything's on emergency power though, so only a couple of terminals are on, and it's low lighting everywhere.
Rude, can you get started on that door? The maximum security door?
I can certainly try. Am I rolling security on this one?
Yes. This might be a time to use a force point.
Well, I got a 1 on my purple dice, so it's a critical fail anyway.
Only if they're all ones.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the other two were a 5 and a 6, so what's that? +1. That'd be 14.
Yeah, not good enough.
Yeah, so I need to roll. I use my force point, then roll.
Okay. And Galt trundles up next to you and helps, so you can have an extra d6 as well, which is then doubled, so that's 2.
Somehow lost a d6. Okay, so 22 plus
okay.
Help gets.
It gets you an extra dice. Sorry, extra 2 dice because you're doubling it.
2 more dice.
Yeah.
So another 4. 27.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, between you and Galt, you managed to hack through the various layers of security. Sorry, slice through the various layers of security on the door. The external blast doors open up, and then the inner ones follow on a short while after. Okay. So a similarly broad corridor goes on ahead. It looks like there's various sort of banks of scanning and other equipment running down this section. None of it's powered up fully because everything's on emergency power. The door at the far end doesn't look like a hyper security one, but more like an internal airlock.
So you said that there are a couple of stations on. Can I look and see what is on? Like, would I know?
They're all sort of general purpose stations for like administration and monitoring workers.
Would that include a schematic?
Yes.
Station.
Yeah,
but not of the section that you're going in because that's maximum security.
Yeah, it's more about trying to find another way back to the loading to the bay, to the port bay.
Yeah.
Preferably without having to go through the doors that this idiot robot just blew up.
Man. Yes. So can Lisha and Dang, who are tinkering with these terminals, please make search rolls with a bonus die because the terminal helps with that.
Okay. Crikey. 5, 10, 22, 24, 28.
Cool. And Dang?
18.
Okay. So
20.
Lisha,
Sorry, 20.
Okay. So Lisha finds that there's a whole bunch of like power ducts and things, which conveniently enough have enough room for humanoids to crawl through them. So one of those should be able to take you through the vents from the atmospherics plant through to the dock without having to pass through the doors. Though you do note that it has what's labeled anti-Minoc security systems.
Okay, we'll worry about them when we need to cross them. So just do my best to commit this route to memory.
Yeah. Dan can get a schematic of the area apart from the high security section. You can also check some of the monitors, and you can see the scout droid hovering by the blast doors, not the outer ones, the inner ones that Galt shot. So it just seems to be hovering there at the moment. Switching to the external monitors, quite a lot of them are damaged and gone, but you do see an Imperial shuttle folding its wings and slowly coming in to settle next to your ship.
We've got company.
You think?
All right. Just stick to the story. They don't. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing nowadays. As long as we stick to the story that we're from another Imperial faction, that'll at least buy us some time.
Yeah, well, retcon that you guys have, passable Imperial uniforms or Stormtrooper armor as well.
Cough, cough.
Yep.
Yeah.
I look dang just like old times.
Yeah, you probably are going to be the best at knowing their protocols.
Yeah, I do have Imperial knowledge.
And repulsor lift operation, which will be useful for moving heavy things around.
Yes, sir. Oh, and demolitions.
Yes. Okay, then. So, now what?
So we can either go straight in or go through the vents.
Yeah, or check out the side chambers, but given that you've got Imperials on your ass,
We should just go and say hi to the Imperials.
And get that out of the way. How many are coming out of the shuttle?
Dan can check the monitor again. So there's a squad. They're not stormtroopers. They're just regular Imperial troopers in somewhat battered and disheveled black uniforms. They do have an officer with them whose uniform looks far more crisp and fine. A couple of technicians with repulsor.
Can I see a
repulsor lifts.
Rank badge?
He is. What are the Imperial ranks?
He's got 4 blue squares and 4 red squares.
He is a first lieutenant. And he's got a couple of medal ribbons as well.
I so nearly went for the Dan character just so I could use Ken Colley's picture as my screen picture.
As you watch, a couple of power droids also come trundling out the back of the shuttle. Gonk.
It's like they're here for the same thing we are.
Gonk.
If we stick to the vents, maybe they can do all the work for us. We just hang back and follow them. That plan was just my first idea. It doesn't mean it was a good plan.
Do any of us outrank them? Do we have any insignia on any of our armor or anything?
Well, stormtroopers outrank regular troopers, but none of you would outrank the lieutenant.
Yeah.
We could maybe tell him that we've had orders from someone that outranks him
True.
and get them to help us load the device into the ship.
Well.
We could tell him that Palpatine's death was exaggerated. That somehow,
What? And we're on a secret mission?
yeah, real hush hush. No,
I'm very sorry, Lieutenant, that Operation Werewolf is above your security clearance, but we're here to tell you that. ... It could work. It could work.
Worth a try.
Just.
Well, if we're going to front it out, I'd rather have this conversation with a blast door between us and them, and see if we can, and see if we can't get them on side, but still with a healthy dose of, very thick steel between us and them.
Yeah.
All right, who's gonna be the agent? I've got command.
I'm more of a mechanic than a talker.
I'm afraid I'm ignorant enough of Star Wars canon to know whether or not a Twi'lek. I think Twi'leks were subjugated, weren't they? I don't think I'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you keep your helmet on, uncomfortable as it is to squeeze your tentacles into it, you should be able to pass.
All right,
But
Dang, I'm gonna.
Well, a female stormtrooper.
It's been known.
I never took the helmets off to check.
The downside is that I know nothing about Imperial command structures or anything like that. I mean, I can bullshit them all day long, but there's only a certain amount of fact that I can squeeze in there that's going to be useful. So I think Dang needs to, at the very least, take some kind of point on this for his institutional knowledge.
Well, I don't know. I was liking, how's it pronounced? Shia?
I was saying Shia.
Yeah. I was quite liking Shia's idea of hanging back, watching what they're going to do. At least we go through the conduits as far as we can, leave the droid here or someone to watch the monitors.
When you say the droid, Gout seems to take a front and rocks backwards and forwards on his tracks.
Shut up, droid.
Well, you were getting rather pissy about doing anything else.
Galt, either you stay here or you're gonna have to talk to the other security systems that want to kill us. And you.
Slumps into his tracks in resignation. There's a power up sound, and the main lights come on, and the terminals start to come on one by one.
All right, let's move. Which are we doing? Talking to them or heading forward?
If the vents will give us access to, if the vents will give us enough access to be able to kind of follow them around, as it were, discreetly, to see what they're doing and so on and so forth, my vote would be for that. Not least because presumably they're about to switch on all the internal cameras.
It's a good point. All right.
There's a loud clunk from the other side of the blast door that comes into this section.
All right. Vents it is.
Yeah.
If they catch
Okay.
us, we'll figure out something.
Okay, so Galt trundles over to one of the vents, springs forth his many tools, and undoes and removes the grill and sets it to one side.
All right. I'll head in first.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit cramped, but you can get in there. Yeah.
I'll go in last.
The mouse droid trundles after you, sort of bumping over the edge of the thing.
All right.
You have a little friend.
So we'll wait, I guess, in this position until we hear them.
Yeah, Galt bumps up against the entrance to the vent. He can't fit in, and he makes a sad boop noise. Brrr.
If you power down, maybe they'll just think, you're more space junk.
What?
He lifts up the grill, puts it on, reattaches it, and then powers down. Brrr.
Oh, is that dang?
Oh, I was just gonna ask a question that I already answered. Oh no, sorry.
Okay.
I was gonna ask what model droid he was, and then I just went look back at the character stuff.
Yeah. He is an
It's an ALT series.
Yeah. Which are kind of dumpy astromechs with treads instead of wheels or feet.
Right, and a big dome, like glass or plasteel or something like that dome.
Yeah, like a big bubble dome. They look a bit like the brain droids from Fallout, but not quite as fragile. Okay, so from your hidey hole in the vents, Dang is the one that can really see out the grill back here to see what they're doing. There's a bright flash from the blast door, and sparks and flames and stuff come off it and slowly track their way all around the gigantic double doors. So you're all sat in here quite a while with the smell of ozone and burning metal. And then with a resounding, deafening clang, the doors fall in. And the troops come in. Only a couple of them have their guns up and ready. The others are consulting tablet computers and looking around the place. Wheeling in a couple of repulsor lifts.
Lucia has drawn her blaster, and she's not exactly pointing it at Dang, more sort of hovering the barrel in his general direction.
Just in case. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah. Well, I have my carbine out anyway, or my pistol.
Carbines are short, so there's room even in here.
Fair. All right.
If Dang looks at all upset at the fact that Alicia's got a gun on him, she'll just mouth to him, "For backup."
Oh, I'm not even paying attention. I'm watching.
So the lieutenant straightens his cap and starts barking orders. You two, data retrieval. You two, move those things up to the back door. Looks like someone's opened it for us. Check the state of the security. Captain Van Meer is not one to be kept waiting. And remember, officers can get at you without the power to force choke you. There's plenty of other ways to make your life hell. So get to it. And then he saunters over to one of the command terminals and starts tip-tapping away on it.
So how many are left in the room with the officer?
So I said there was a squad plus the lieutenant. Okay. 8 and the lieutenant came in. So 4 of them. So 2 on each are pushing the repulsor lifts to the back. So that leaves another 4 moving to the terminals and doing their various bits of work. Guns get put away in holsters.
So they're split 4-4.
Yeah. So 4 have gone through the open blast doors at the back. They're the ones pushing the repulsor lifts. 4 remain in here, seem to be dealing with the data. They're going from terminal to terminal. And the lieutenant is up top.
And as far as we know, that means that they have left nobody at the bay to watch their ship.
There would be a pilot and co-pilot for the Imperial shuttle if they've got standard crew.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And the power droids, the gonk droids, didn't come in with them. So they must be somewhere, but they're not anything to worry about.
Yeah, they're the ones powering all this up right now. I would suspect.
So we're going to go and kill the pilot.
Is there a? Do you remember, Alicia, if the vents lead back to the bay?
That was the bit that I committed to memory. Is how do we get from this section back to the bay without going through the blast doors? Now that's obviated now because presumably they've just cut a big hole in those blast doors, although we didn't see it exactly. But you're right. I'm thinking if we go back and disable their ship, then at the very least they're not getting out of here without us.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
we could
they
go.
do all-
Go ahead.
Oh, just have them do all the work for us. We go back that way, take out their crew, and one of us mans the guns on our ship. And easy as that. I mean, I don't think they're gonna fight for this device worth their lives.
I like that plan. I quite like that plan. Wait for them all to go past, sneak back to the bay, disable their ship, kill the pilots, whatever, and just wait for them to roll that thing back to us. I like that plan a lot.
Okay. So Dang was at the back. Who was the first one in? Was that Leisha?
That was me.
No, I think it was Shia.
Yeah, it was Shia.
Okay.
How
So there's
about-
not really room to pass each other. Sorry, go on.
We've got 2 people capable of piloting ships here and 2 ships on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we let them load it onto their ship and take off with it while either myself or Shia flies off the other ship.
Yep, has the advantage of stranding the rest of them here
All right.
and profiting us an additional ship.
So
If
Funded.
Dang and Leisha go on the Imperial ship just to deal with anyone who was there to load on the
Yeah.
thing.
I'll take the shuttle when we get there.
Okay. So. Okay, let me just look something up. Right. Can you all make... Is it sneak or stealth? Whichever one it is. It's under perception, I think.
Yeah,
With two bonus dice, please.
So if I don't have it, it's just
It's just the base stat, so perception with 2 additional dice.
Oh my word. 12, 16, 18, 31,
Ooh,
33.
that's not my counting here.
With
18.
a double exploding 6, 37.
Ah, well,
I just got the single exploding 6. I've
What
got
was your total? Okay. Well, did anyone not beat 16?
Got a 19.
Okay. And Dang got
18.
20, was it? Oh, 18. Oh.
18. 18.
All right. You creep through the tubes and pipes like a band of ninjas, somehow also managing to avoid setting off the Minox detector, probably because you're not Minox, and emerge into the bay behind where the shuttlecraft is. So yeah, you got free reign pretty much to go where you want from here.
Are the doors of the Imperial shuttle open? Bay doors or ramps?
The back door is open. On from the shuttle, where a big panel has been taken off the wall, there's the power droids with heavy cables running from them into the wall. And hovering by them is the scout droid. They seem to be having a conversation. At least you assume so. It's bit a bit, gonk, gonk, bit a bit, gonk.
I'm enjoying the robot noises.
Is there any way discreetly of getting into that shuttle access without alerting the scout droid in particular, or and all the pilots actually as well?
If you can be as much of a ninja as you just were crawling through the vents, you should manage to avoid being seen.
Well, I'm confident I can do that. I'm not confident anybody else can. But then again, I'm not exactly confident about what happens when I get in. Actually, maybe just holding a pistol to them will be enough. So I'm going to suggest
Imperials are a cowardly and superstitious lot.
Yeah, so I'm going to suggest that I make the solo attempt to get in and hijack the vessel at gunpoint, hopefully without having to fire a shot. If I have to fire a shot, you guys, at least one of you guys, should be right behind me, ready to go, because at that point it's all gone pear-shaped. And
Has anyone else got a better sneak skill than 3D +1?
no.
I got 5 dice.
No sneak skill at all.
Yeah, same.
I'm good in close quarters though. I got a 5
Yeah,
5D
so I'll be heading up the rear with the.
I also have a very good hand-to-hand.
Okay, so what? Rug and Leisha are going to sneak up into the back of the shuttle?
I think that's probably the best idea because there's going to be 2 people on board the shuttle.
Yeah. Well, and the others are going to stand cover, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I put through a message on the comms, like a coded, like a Morse code message that means nothing, just so they start, just to get them looking at it?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. So yeah. Make a mechanical roll to do that.
All right. Oh no. 4 total. No botch though.
Okay. All right. So you intend that to be a distraction, but the co-pilot's like, something's going on. It's like loosens the holster on his blaster pistol, and they're on alert. So Leisha and Rug no longer get a bonus die to their sneaking. So can you make?
My bad.
So can you two make stealth rolls, please?
2, 4, 5.
Well, I got a. Oh no, I didn't. It's not a botch if it's just the one on.
No, it's one on everything.
Yeah.
16. Hang on. 10, 20, 21.
I got 10, but I am following behind somewhat. So
Yeah, and they rolled really badly, so, so you're actually okay. All right, so trying to avoid the scout droid, which is deep in conversation with the gonks, you two creep up behind the shuttle and up the ramp, somehow managing to stay nearly silent. So the back section has a central area that just seems to be cleared and opened up, ready for cargo. There's straps and things. There are tiny, uncomfortable bench seats down either side, built for humans, Corellians, I should say. There's a simple door with a couple of windows either side of it, which leads through into the pilot cabin.
Doors closed. Nobody's looking out of the windows into the cargo area.
Door is closed. You can hear conversation between the pilot and co-pilot through the door.
Okay, and if it's only between them, and they're not on the radio to anybody else, then I guess it's straight to the door, open it, and just point a pistol at their faces.
Creep up to the door. Make sure Rug knows what the plan is. And then either side of the door, barely hear the conversation. It's like, yeah, man, Endor was a shit show. You should have been there. No, actually, you shouldn't have been there. Stormtroopers torn apart by little furry. God, man. Blasters, there's this little bows and arrows. You wouldn't have thought it would be such a problem. Okay, then you hit the button and the doors slide open. The pilot and co-pilot whip their heads around to look at you. You know, they've got those sweatback helmets on and wrinkled and much washed uniforms. And you threaten them with your blaster pistols.
Don't touch that dial.
Right. So, is there an intimidation? I think command's probably the best thing. You've got the advantage of surprise, and you've got your weapons out. So, can Rug and Leisha make command rolls, which is under perception if you don't have the skill.
So we're under perception. On the raw perception, it says 4D plus 2. Does that mean basically I'm
So you'd roll 4 dice plus 2. That's all you'd be rolling.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, for the total.
If you had the skill, the sub number would be higher.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10. Bloody hell. I'm rolling absurdly well tonight. 20, all told, with the plus 2.
Nice.
No, was there a bonus? Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, a bonus dice because you surprised them and you have weapons.
18.
What would we resist with? Probably perception as well. Okay. Sorry, what was the lowest of the rolls?
I got 18.
I got 20.
20. Okay. So 8, 14. Okay. For a moment, you think they're going to draw, but then they sink back down into their seats and raise their hands.
Up. Gesturing with the blaster, it back into the cargo bay.
Okay, it's a bit cramped, but they stand up with their hands up and shuffle sideways between you back into the bay.
So
You said
is
there
there
was lots of,
Okay.
you said there was lots of
anything around
cargo
that?
webbing.
Yeah.
Tie them up with that.
Yeah, gag them.
Okay. Right. Well, we're at the 2 hour mark when we normally take a break, and having just captured them seems like a good moment for a screen wipe. So let's take 10 minutes. Use the lure if you need to, grab a snack if you need to, and we'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Okay, so see you in about 10 minutes. I'll just remove you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
Right. Yeah. My USB port thing somehow lost power, which means mic, headphones, camera,
Oh, okay.
and then the camera program had a fit. And yeah, but the worst thing that could happen. And I've lost all my tabs of game information as well. So that's great.
Fun.
Yeah. So just give me a sec.
Well, while we're waiting, I really like that Open D6 system. Are there any other games that anyone knows
There's
that
a
use
whole
that?
there's a whole D6 like system game line.
Yeah, I wrote Gore under D6. I used D6 for Project, which is kind of superheroes, but not really. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of games that use D6, and it's a fully open system now. So
I recently backed a spy one called Assignment Danger on Kickstarter.
I saw that one, yeah.
Man, I haven't played D6 Star Wars in 20 years. 24
Oh, wow.
years. Yeah, once the D20 stuff came out, we played that and then Saga Edition.
Saga was the one I started with. That one was all right.
I really liked Saga. I think they made it pretty concise. Sorry.
so which one was Saga?
The one that was kind of a prototype for 4th edition. It was
Yeah.
had the hit points and the separate wound points.
Yeah, vitality and wounds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like they used in D20 Modern, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot that it was like it was a lot like D20 Modern. But also, I don't know, I just thought it was really good. I think it caught
Yeah.
the essence of what people do. But the D6 always had my heart.
It's a nice, robust, but simple system. I think Star Wars D6 was how so many people got their start in role playing if they didn't start with Dungeons and Dragons.
The only problem was like the wonky force system.
In D6 or Saga?
D6. I don't know if what they did in re-up. I haven't read the re-up, but in the old one, it was had to roll so many dice.
Yeah, it got ridiculous.
Yeah, if you wanted to use a power that was like all 3 force powers, you had to roll all 3 force skills, and then you had to make subtractions because it was considered multiple rolls in a turn. So then you had to. It was, oh my god.
Jedi, not even once.
Not even.
The music was from I think it's a Techno Axe track. It'd be Soundscape or something. Let me just find that quickly for you, and then we'll start up again. Music.
Yeah, that music was. I really did like that too.
Sci-fi horror synth adrift. Yeah. It's White Bat Audio, actually, not Techno X. So usually the music I use on my regular YouTube channel is either Technoaxe, Whitebat audio, or very occasionally Bass Rebels. Otherwise, it's just something generic from within the video program, so I probably couldn't tell you. But I will drop a link for you since you're interested. So there you go, Johan. And you should be able to find it. Whitebat does great atmospheric synth stuff for horror, cyberpunk, science fiction type stuff. Right, is everyone back?
Yep.
Yep, here.
Yep.
Okay, so you just captured the pilots and tied them up and gagged them using cargo straps and whatever else was laying around. All right, so what's your next step? There's still the probe droid outside talking with the gonks.
So we should probably lock these, the pilot and co-pilot, in a cupboard or something so that they're out of sight.
Yeah.
These shuttles are windowless, aren't they? At the back, I mean, they've got a
Yeah, windowless at the back, and there are plenty of cargo crates now scattered about the bay. There wouldn't be too much trouble to get them into one of them.
Was the plan to ambush them once they get back on the shuttle?
Not sure
No,
we got that far.
No, I think somebody said it, but I think our best thing to do is when they get in here. I thought we were going to threaten them with the weapons from the other ship.
We need Seer to get into the other ship, and once
Alright.
they've loaded the thing onto this ship, we fly off with it.
All right. I'll head towards the other. Well, first thing, let's see if there's any munitions or anything we can use on the shuttle.
Yeah.
Some explosives would be nice.
Well, do we have comlinks?
Yes, you have comlinks.
Yeah, we also have an Imperial Scout drone, presumably scanning frequencies.
Yeah, we should probably just physically wave the rest of the party over. Just keep an eye out.
I'll go into the cockpit and give them the circular
Yeah.
OK sound.
Well, without the pilots there, we could kill the probe. We could destroy the probe. Okay, anyway.
If we start shooting things, then they're not going to come and load up the device for us.
There.
We're trying to get them to do all the work. As soon as they notice that their drone has been destroyed, they'll put down the device and start looking for us. Whereas hopefully, if we don't do that, they'll be kind enough to just load it into the shuttle and we can fly off and tie up whoever loaded it, because they'll have their hands full. We just come out with guns pointed at them and tell them to put it down and tie them up.
Okay. So is that the plan then? Everyone's going to wait in the back of the shuttle and point guns at whoever turns up with the device?
I was gonna man the guns of our
Your own ship.
the Heart of Glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we can all take off together.
And while we're waiting, see if our former inverted commas stormtrooper here can use the shuttle to see what kind of security cordon this destroyer has put up, if any, to stop any vessels leaving this place.
Yeah. So let's have a look. Yeah, your familiarity with the systems will help.
Yeah.
Second. Iderium, isn't it? This should be the easiest one to look up, and yet. Okay, there it is. Right, sensors. Okay, no bonus unless you want to ping active sensors, but that would be a giveaway. So, can Dang make a... what does sensors come under? Is it perception or someone's got it? Or technical?
What skill?
Sensors.
Nah, I don't have that one.
I've got sensors.
Okay. It's mechanical, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so can Dang make a mechanical roll because you don't have the sensor skill, but with a bonus dice, please?
Okay. I got a 15.
Okay. You're picking up a few patrols of TIE fighters in pairs out there, moving through the debris field. So that's kind of like a loose cordon.
Yeah.
And the Star Destroyer itself is very slowly and nonchalantly drifting its way closer to the base. But they're not in any hurry, and they're not anywhere close yet.
Is this thing capable of making the jump to hyperspace?
Yes.
Yes, Lambda shuttles or Tiderian shuttles can indeed. Yeah, hyperdrive multiplier times 1. So not hugely fast, but they'll do the job.
Okay, so we can probably get away from this Star Destroyer.
We should probably share our coordinates where we want to end up, just so we make sure we end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Space is big.
Really big.
Yeah, if we get the coordinates programmed in ready for when we want to leave, then it'll just be a case of turn it on, leave.
Some backwater system where we would have that we would normally do after a job, where we'd normally go after a job.
What was that? What was that rule for making up planet names? Take a drug and knock some syllables off.
All right.
There's an old hidey hole called Sudafed that you used to hang out at.
I was going for the cabinet.
In my Urban Fairy RPG game, the fairies take their names from drugs. So you could like have leprechauns called Phenolphthalein and things like that.
Baclofen.
Mm.
I was baclofen and muscle relaxer baclofen.
Okay, so we'll plot the course for Sudafed.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's all set up. You'll just need to get, far enough from the gravity well to hit light speed, which shouldn't take too long. What's the regular speed?
Do that before the TIE fighters even notice us, but that might be being a bit too hopeful.
We'll go to the second moon of Tryptophan.
Ah, yes, in the Turkey system. All right. Okay, so yeah, you got the coordinates all set. You probably can't risk fully powering up either ship because that probe droid will cotton on quick.
Yeah.
So you wait.
Oh,
Is the shuttle armed?
The shuttle has 3 double blaster cannons.
are they
2
are
in
they-
the
Go ahead. Sorry.
2 in the front, 1 in the back. So presumably turret pods. And on the front, it also has an additional 2 double laser cannons.
Does that mean we're more well armed than a TIE fighter?
Yes, TIE fighters have...
They just have like 2 forward-facing, fire-linked.
Yeah, 2 laser cannons, fire-linked
Yep.
front arc. And they've got no shields. So they just count on going fast. And yeah.
Yeah, just going fast. That's it.
Yeah, going
Oh.
fast and being wee and speedy.
Don't get hit.
Yeah. Expendable.
So is
Yes, it is.
everyone hiding somewhere?
Yeah.
If we want to bring maximum firepower to bear, we want people crewing both vehicles, don't we?
Yeah, I'm in the Heart of Glass in the gunner bay.
Yeah,
You just
we've got
Sorry, go.
the choice of either maximum firepower on both ships or the most chance of getting away without firing a shot. It's kind of a toss up.
Well, the most obvious thing is to split as 2 and 2, with myself and Roog on the shuttle.
I love how you just completely don't care about Galt.
Oh, right. Oh,
I've been sitting here thinking about him. Like, how are we gonna get Galt?
How handy then that
I
Leisha.
forgot. Well,
This is completely in character for Leisha. She doesn't give a fuck about that rusty bucket of bolts.
no, 'cause
I'll
I'm the
say
one who has
once-
to buy a new one.
Well, I'll say once we well, I mean, presumably they'll leave the doors open. Is he fully powered down?
He's powered down by the vent still.
Was he
in the
fully
main
or are you in
entry.
like sleeper mode?
Oh,
could we-
probably sleep mode. Yeah.
I'll ping him then. Just say once they all leave, follow. Just head towards the bay. Wait for a signal.
So we get the device. We're
Scarper.
assuming that there'll be a few people moving it, I'm guessing.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Presumably, it only needs 1 person to handle a grav lifter. So they only need to send 1 forward.
Well, they still need to push it.
2 men pushing, 1 man supervising.
Oh well, my suggestion is that we don't risk having any more of them on board than we need to. So as soon as they step in, and we know where they all are, once they're all in the bay with the piece of tech.
Well, I had a thought about that.
That's what I was-
Presumably,
Why don't-
one of these.
I thought wow, this is getting really messed up. I thought once they come into the bay and get close to the ships,
I'll take from here.
I keep hearing weird feedback.
Yeah, it seems to be something. It's just when there's too much crosstalk, it seems to go off.
Right.
So. Okay, so you got 2 of you in each ship.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna let them wheel the device into the cargo bay. Are you gonna let them load it onto the shuttle?
I was
Before
thinking
springing the
we
truck.
let them load it on the shuttle, but I get the feeling that Leisha wants to just open fire on them as soon as they get in the cargo bay.
Not necessarily open fire, but just sort of point out to them that they are at a slight tactical disadvantage, and maybe they want to think about handing that over on our terms.
It would mean that they could contact help.
Hmm.
And
True
there's a
enough.
Star Destroyer and a bunch of TIE
Well,
fighters
I don't
beside.
think their comm links are strong enough to reach the Star Destroyer or even the. Are they? I
Yeah.
would assume that they would have to use the ship to contact the other
Yeah, you'd have-
ships.
Yeah, you
Well,
would.
in that case, we'd need to take out the scout droid, because that certainly would be.
100%. Yeah, that's got HoloNet on it.
Oh, that can be our warning shot.
Yep,
We blow up
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they get into the cargo bay with the device. We blow up the droid. They realise that we're going to blow them up next and hopefully turn around and run away.
Well, if they go into the base and the gonk droids are still powering things, they can probably send a message.
Well,
So we
in that
shoot
case,
all the droids.
three warning shots.
Won't that remove the gravity quite quickly if we do that?
What if you destroy the gonk droids?
Yeah.
Well, the emergency power was already up, and that was giving you gravity. So
But if
it'd
they're
take
out,
out the main lights and a whole bunch of the systems.
if they're all out in the bay, they're gonna need they'll probably be in spacesuits, but
No, he said uniforms.
Yeah, I didn't say so. Spacesuits.
Yep, they're in uniforms.
oh, all right. So yeah,
Are
if
we about to suck all the air out of the building?
Oh,
well, yeah, if they've got the device and they wheel it onto the shuttle, well, I guess if we blow up the gonk droids and everyone floats away, including the device, but we could. That's not the worst situation to be in.
no, like you said, emergency systems are still on, so gravity is still good, even with the gonk droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But what's the atmosphere like on the planet outside of here, though?
Well, this is just an asteroid, so there's no atmosphere to speak of.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever's stopping the air flying out the window,
Yeah, so there's an atmospheric force field across the entrance.
is that being powered by the droids?
It came on when you activated the emergency power, so presumably it would stay up even when the gonks are destroyed.
Okay.
But you could shut it down from the security station.
All right.
Well, that seems like an option. Remove all the air and then walk up to the device and get it.
I mean, we do have Galt still. We can tell him to go to the security room right after they wheel out, after we've blown up the scout droid, and then he can sort of power down the communications.
Yeah, so he can power down communications, suck all the air out. They all asphyxiate, and since he's a droid and doesn't need to breathe, he can come and push the thing onto our loading ramp.
Okay. Plan? Sorted?
Yep.
Okay. Right. So you wait for a while. Two of you hanging out in or by one ship, and two of you hanging out at the other. After some time, the lieutenant comes marching out. Come along, man. Double time. Let's get this thing home. And following on behind him, there's a pair of repulsor lifts which are being used to lift this enormous, big, tentacle, black lozenge of a thing. But the repulsor lifts are helping a lot, obviously. But there's one man pulling, one man pushing, one repulsor lift under either end, and they're moving this device out into the entrance.
Let's fire the ship's lasers at the droids then.
Okay. Are you using the shuttle's guns or the Heart of Glass's guns?
Both?
Yeah, why not
Hit all
both?
three?
Why not?
All right.
Okay, so
I mean, we've got 4 of us with enough guns for each of us to take a gun, I guess.
yeah, vehicle scale damage. How's that going to scale down to character?
I think if
Just wondering
something
that is.
hit by that, it's toast, presumably.
Probably. Trouble is there's no index.
We'll also have plenty of time to zero the guns in on those droids.
Yeah.
And it's slightly amusing that we've managed to manipulate the situation to Grimm's absolutely favourite rule subsystems of converting vehicles.
If this was the silhouette system, it would be fine, but it's not. The Star Wars firing starship weapons at people. See if anyone's giving price.
Didn't Anakin do it?
Yes.
Starship damage. Passenger damage, that's not what we want. It's not capital ships, that's got its own rules. Aha! Reddit to the rescue. Okay. No, that turned out not to be helpful.
What's a normal blaster doing damage?
4D?
4D, yeah. And your blaster cannon turret on the Heart of Glass does 2D. Fuck it. We've spent enough time waffling. All right, so it's difficult to hit, but you've had plenty of time to aim. Must be rules for aiming.
It's tricky because you want to show it as written, but it's just easier to make like a house rule on the fly.
Yeah, but yeah, this is about kind of showing them as written as much as possible, though I do always play fast and loose with the rules. Combat. Dodging, drawing. Well, I've just been handing out bonus dice, haven't I? So,
Assuming these guns on the ships are like producing a bigger bullet, laser, whatever, than
yeah.
the regular version, maybe just double the damage dice for it or something if it's against a human would make sense.
I think it would need to be more than that, though. Even
Is there any anti-ship like cannons, like the equivalent of a Stinger missile, but with like blasters?
yeah, that's like portable blaster cannons and things, but they're scaled at anti-personnel, even though they're meant to be able to damage vehicles. We will just have to improvise. I can't be asked looking up anymore. All right, so whoever's firing from the Heart of Glass,
All right.
you'll need your ship weapons skill, and it has the fire control. And add 2 dice plus 2 to your roll, and an additional dice for the aiming.
So, all right.
So whoever's firing from the Heart of Glass, take your ship weapon skill, add 2 dice and plus 2, and an extra dice as well.
22.
Okay, that is most definitely a hit. Right, roll 3 dice for damage.
12.
Okay, so if we multiply that up, you said 12, did you?
Hello. Oh,
So
there we go.
I just found the scaling for the damage, and Starfighter is 60.
Okay,
Plus 60 modifier.
to
So
damage.
whatever the damage is, add 60.
Okay, where did you find that?
It's on page 95 of the re-up.
Okay.
I have this second edition revised and expanded
right.
book here too.
Okay. So in that case, it would have been 9 dice. So roll another 6 dice for damage and add it on.
Oh, another. All right. So that will be a 30.
Okay. Right. And its strength is 3 dice. And it has no armor. Okay. So it got 10. So you got 3 times over. So that's mortally wounded, which for a droid like this means boom. Okay. So a whole bunch of blaster bolts fly from your ships, smash into the scout droid, and it's blown asunder into pieces. The lieutenant ducks and shouts. The 2 guys on the repulsor lifts move away, shy away from the blast as bits of droids scatter all over them. The people who weren't firing the cannons, are you doing anything?
Well, I was going to fire at the other droids, the power ones.
Okay. Well, they're not moving at all. So yeah, all right. You blast them. There's a huge explosion and scattering of electricity in all directions, arcing off the walls, and everything drops back down to emergency power.
So, I mean, now they know there's 2 ships with guns shooting at them.
Yeah. So the 2 people who weren't manning the turrets, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna try to contact Galt, see if he's moved.
He does power up and tries to sneak away from the occupied people in there. So let's roll for Galt. So perception, 2 dice. Give them a bonus die because they're busy. Okay, he rolled several 6s. So yeah, all right. Yeah, he powers up and comes roaring down the corridor as fast as his treads will carry him, which isn't very fast, but he'll be there as soon as he can.
And he was going to the security, right?
Yep, he's got to come out here and across first.
All right.
So yeah, that's you. So that just leaves Leisha, I think.
Since the plan is to evacuate the atmosphere from this place, she's going to go to the rear of the shuttle and shut the damn door.
Good idea.
Okay. Yeah, you hammer the switch and the doors start to close up. Right. So the Imperials, the 2 soldiers and the lieutenant, sort of look around and recover their wits and draw their weapons and look around to try and see what's going on.
Now, do these have like inside the ship to outside communication? Like, is there any kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your guys just go again.
So I think we're going to need to tell them to drop their weapons, and we might let them live.
This would be a good time to use my command skill.
Yes, and give yourself an extra bonus dice, 2 bonus dice, because you're in a ship with big ship scale weapons, which is quite intimidating.
All right. Oh, 6 on my special die, so that's 18
Nice.
total. So then I just double that, right?
No, you roll again with the d6 and keep adding on as long as you keep getting 6s or whatever you roll.
So just add 3 to that.
Yeah.
21.
Okay. So the 2 men who were pulling the repulsor lifts just to throw down their weapons immediately and put their hands on their head. The lieutenant briefly scolds them as being cowards and then thinks better of it and drops his gun as well. But continues to blame them.
I'm going to put on a voice scrambler if I can, just make it all garbly and metallic. Load it back into the shuttle, nice and slow. Only 2 of them. You stay behind. Don't want to piss off Captain Van Meer any more than he's gonna be.
Okay. Galt comes trundling past them at high speed and disappears into the security room. You'll have to open the back of the shuttle again for them to load the device on.
We send a message to Gulp to tell him to be ready, but don't do it yet.
Yeah. So under threat of fiery laser death, they load the device onto the back of the shuttle, which visibly sinks onto its landing struts under the weight.
And just to keep those 2 who've loaded it on occupied, give them the 2 still bound and gagged pilots, and they can carry them off by hand just to make life difficult for them.
Yeah, pop open the cargo crate that you hid them in, and they take them. So yeah, they drag them across the floor.
Okay, let's close the door again.
Yeah, close the door up again. Over the comlink comes Galt's beeps going.
Yep. Now Galt.
All right.
Right. The force field across the entrance flickers and goes out. There's a sudden rush of air as the Imperials go hurtling out into the void, along with a bunch more crates and bits of debris, because the main doors are still open through to the central section. More Imperials come hurtling out slightly later. With a bunch of data pads, data spikes. Another couple of repulsor lifts go tumbling out into the void. Galt jets out on his little gas jets and into the airlock as quickly as he can.
Do we have a little place where you can dock, like in an X-wing?
Yes, probably.
All right. Yeah.
Probably a little bay on the inside there.
We don't even have to open it. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we'd better get out of here pretty sharpish.
All right.
And his cubby, Galt extends one of his little tool arms and scratches another few kill lines onto his chassis.
Yeah, definitely time for a wipe.
All right. Does Dang have any gunnery skills?
Not for ships, no.
Okay. Any piloting skills?
No, sir.
All right. Dang, do your best, and I'm gonna head to the pilot to the cockpit.
Yeah,
I
you
know
do
how to
have fire control systems, so
Yeah.
Leisha, can you pilot?
I only know how to kill things with my hands.
Rug would know full well that Leisha is not a skilled astronavigator.
Yeah, so I'll fly the ship.
okay. Right. So yeah, you power up the two ships and retract the landing gear, lift up, turn, and move out one after the other into the ring of debris.
As we go, I briefly switch off the intercom between the two vessels, look across at Rug and say, well, glancing her eyes back to the extremely valuable cargo that we have in our ship.
You fucker.
I don't think the captain would be very happy.
I'm sure he'd be livid. But poor.
Mutiny.
Mutiny? No, it's merely self-preservation. It's a strange new world out there, Rug. People like you and I have to take care of ourselves. It's already well and good for these Corellians, but
Well,
you know.
this device is in a ship that's under the command of Captain Shire.
Oh, I don't know, she says, sort of mentally eyeing you up, kind of fitting you out for a captain's uniform in her mind's eye. You're looking pretty competent, Captain.
Well, I think that we're better off as a fleet of ships than we are as a single ship.
She pouts and switches the intercom back on.
Okay. Right. You start navigating your way through the mix of asteroids and broken ships. Does a shuttle count as a starfighter, or what class is it? Yes, starfighter. Okay, so whoever is piloting the shuttle needs to make a starfighter pilot roll, which what does it come under?
We've got astrogation.
Yeah, that's more for navigation.
Space transports.
I've got
space transports is for freighters. Shears should be. Yeah, you should have been in the opposite ships, but never mind.
Oh, no.
Right. So I think in either case it's mechanical, but whoever's piloting the Heart of Glass needs to make a transports roll. Whoever's piloting the shuttle needs to make a starfighter piloting roll.
Okay. So I
Um,
just roll a straight.
No,
mechanical.
it says skill of space transports lambda for the lambda shuttle. It says transport by skill.
where I'm looking at it is a starfighter, but
Is that for scale?
yes. So where?
Two
Skill. Yeah,
lines
space
down.
transports.
It
Yeah, I
wouldn't
see
make
it.
any difference to me other than adding +1 to the roll. So
That's a difference.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
we'll see how
But-
the roll goes.
So
Well,
space transports, which is under mechanical for whoever's piloting each of the ships. The Heart of Glass has +1D for maneuverability. The shuttle has +1D for maneuverability.
So I'm rolling mechanical or I'm rolling starship piloting.
It's not space transport. So
Okay.
Okay, so
yeah, but you get a bonus dice.
I've got 15 for the Imperial ship.
Yeah.
20.
Okay.
20
So
22 plus 2.
Okay. The shuttle is a bit unfamiliar in controls, and so you do scrape off some paint against the floating corpse of a battle droid hovering through space, but otherwise completely undamaged. Just hopefully no one saw that. So let me just check something else.
Yeah, that scratch was there when I got this.
It was like that when I got here. Okay.
It'll buff right out.
Is there any sort of alignment system in this game? Because we did just kill.
Yeah.
You can't get dark side
well.
points.
Yeah, that would be dark side point worthy. But we're not playing for that long, so it doesn't matter. If we were in a campaign, you'd be getting evil.
It was for the greater good.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
that's never been an excuse for anything bad.
We're greater and it's good.
Okay, so you're weaving through all the space junk and the asteroids, twisting and turning and ducking through them all. You can actually see the Star Destroyer a bit better now. It's still just kind of slowly drifting closer, but it looks like a proper wedge now, at least. If there was sound in space, which there is because it's Star Wars, you're suddenly aware of a sound like a dog in the back of a car passing you really quickly. Yeah. And a couple of TIE fighters come wheeling and twisting through the debris, heading in towards you. The comlink lights up with a challenge. This is Black Leader to Lambda Shuttle. Come in.
This is Lambda Shuttle.
What's that heap of shit flying next to you?
We found this on the surface. Co-pilots just piloting it. Thought we might be able to make some use of it.
That pile of Banfapodo?
Has a good engine on it.
Fine. We need all the salvage we can, I suppose. Do you have the device?
Well, there was a bit of a problem there. They were loading the device, and something happened to the airlock, and everyone flew out of it. We were still on board the spacecraft when it happened. Device is still down there, but it's not safe to leave the ships down there at the moment.
So you don't have it with you?
Suggest we come back later with repair droids Everything has gone out the airlock.
Are you all right, Lambda Pilot? You sound a bit rough.
Is are they within like? Can I see them in the gunner spot of the?
Yeah, you can turn the turret. The two TIE fighters have fallen in behind both of your ships in a sort of staggered formation.
Brief period with no air, but okay. Going to head back to the Star Destroyer. You can go on your way. We'll follow behind.
The Star Destroyer. Okay, can you make a role that Leisha would be far better suited for?
Yeah, this whole time she's just been sat next to him in the co-pilot seat, goggle-eyed, staring at him.
Can you make a persuasion roll, please? If you don't have persuasion, it's perception.
I don't have persuasion. Okay.
Do you still have a force point?
So no, I used that earlier.
Yeah.
Opening a door or something. I got 8.
Okay.
I mean, this is basically when Han Solo was on the comms, isn't it?
Just,
Yeah. Boring conversation anyway.
Yeah.
Lambda Shuttle, what is the name of our Star Destroyer? Come back.
It's fine. We're all fine here.
Is it written on the side of it? Like,
you could actively ping sensors, and then like IFF would probably flag up the name.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Make a sensors roll
Yeah, I forgot that.
with
We could have saved so much time just by taking out like one hostage.
with no bonus, so just a straight sensors roll.
Okay. Oh, I rolled too many dice. Well, it's all right. They were all the ones that weren't the wrong color were 6s anyway.
My finger is on the
19.
trigger.
19, did you
Yeah.
say? Okay. Boom! It's the ISS Invictus.
I guess I'll reply back. Yeah, it's the ISS Invictus. Did you forget that?
I worried that you had.
It's okay. Go back to the ship. We'll follow behind. We have no valuable cargo worth protecting after the incident.
And the name of the captain is...
Have you got memory loss, boy? You just asked me a question that you should have known the answer to. Now you're asking me more questions that you should know the answer to. Are you really with us? You're not some rebel spy? This seems like
that
you
motherfucker.
don't have information you should have, boy.
Can I just like ping one channel just to Rug?
Yeah, you're close enough to each other.
I just angrily whisper Van Meer.
Okay, he ignores you.
All right.
All right. Can you make a command roll now, please, Mr. Rug?
No. Don't think I have command.
It's a perception skill, I believe.
Yeah, the only perception skill I've got is sneak. So.
Yeah.
I got the 6 on the good dice. Hooray!
Yay! Huzzah!
17.
Okay. Yeah, he rolled poorly. Okay, so this is going to be a Star Wars session without any blaster battles and without any spaceship battles.
Oh my god, did that actually work?
Yes, it worked. Sorry, sir. I apologize, sir. Do you require an escort back to
No,
the
no,
Star
off you go.
Destroyer?
We'll follow behind.
Very well. We'll secure the site while another shuttle is prepped.
No need. There's nothing. No way anyone's getting anything from that until a repair droid gets down there.
All right. Well, hurry
Right.
back and report back to Captain
Perfectly
Van Meer.
secure. Head back to Star Destroyer. We'll return with this ship tomorrow.
And they peel off and move away much faster than you back towards the Star Destroyer. Right. Astrogation rolls for at least one of the people in each ship, please.
All right.
$14.
12.
That's fine. It's pretty standard operation.
I had a 12.
When did Dang drop out? Because he's back on, but his devices aren't hooked up.
It was literally as you called for the astrogation roll.
Okay. Well, I better not do that again. All right. So, yeah, you peel up out of the junk ring, get out of the hold of its gravity well, and jump to light speed. And reappear sometime later at the Sudafed system, where the twin planets of Suda and Fed spin around each other, tidally locked, eternally facing one another. And there you can fiddle with the device and figure out what to do with it. So, right, because you were sneaky and cunning, that was over a bit quick and a bit easy. But I hope everyone had fun nonetheless.
Yeah.
It is such a good IP. It's so well known that everybody sitting here just has a picture of it, understands the rules, as it were, the rules of the world. You know, you compare that to almost any other sci-fi game, it becomes impossibly difficult to explain to players who haven't read the rules what the hell's going on, you know, and it just becomes a series of info dumps.
Or what the background is.
It helps when it spins out to like the weirder stuff that happened in the comics, because it's still rooted in the original movies.
Yeah, and just, you know, you say it's an Imperial facility, and everybody has that picture of the kind of bright white strip lights and, you know, all that kind of business.
And the black and the grey. And, well, you gained a mouse droid and this experimental device, which may or may not work.
And a ship.
And a ship. Yeah, you blagged a shuttle, which is actually, in a lot of ways, better than your ship. It's funny how good the shuttles are, because they never really strike you as being amazing in the films. Oh, right. So we played science fiction, so I won't do science fiction next time. So let's go for. So next time, not next week, but the week after, I will be running Tunnels and Trolls, which is almost as old as D&D, but has its own quirks. There's a lot more tongue-in-cheek, because there are spells called things like Take That, You Fiend. And it also has an interesting way of basically a party fights as a unit. So you describe what you're going to do, you roll all your stuff, and you add it together, and that determines how well you do as a team. So it's a interesting game.
I didn't know that system was that old. Because what is it? The Heirs to Heresy uses that.
Yeah, I think so.
You
And
fight
it was-
as a unit of 4.
Yeah. And it was also used a lot for solo games. You got game books like Naked Doom and stuff like that, which was quite fun and interesting. You know, starting out with literally nothing as a character.
The book itself didn't look very old. Are there different editions?
No, this is a new edition. I've got. When was this? This was the deluxe reissue. 2015, I think.
Was this one you worked on?
No, but I did get a license from Flying Buffalo to do some like third-party stuff for it. So I did some additional classes and things for it, which have been reasonably popular. Yeah, it was first published in 1975.
Crikey!
So
That's
like
right on
literally,
the...
I think D&D first came out in 74. So
I mean, the name's pretty similar. It feels like they just like
yeah,
copied it.
the Coke and Pepsi type of situation.
yeah. But that's a lot of games. Early games kind of follow that naming sort of standard, and a lot of newer ones still do as well. You'll find a lot of people imitating that.
Oh.
It's not really Coke and Pepsi. It's more kind of Coke and Tizer, though, isn't it? Really?
That one's over my head. Is that a regional thing?
It's
Tizer is a drink that just tastes of red. That's the only way to describe the flavor of it. And then
That's
there's
an easy flavor to describe. Red and blue.
it's short for appetizer. I think it was meant to enhance your appetite originally.
Good grief! I did not know that about that.
Yeah.
If you ever manage to find it in like a shop that sells imported stuff, like get a can, because it's probably the weirdest thing you'll ever drink.
Yeah, my grandfather used to drink it a lot when he wasn't drinking woodpecker cider.
Sounds like melted red Slurpee. Like
It's well, Wikipedia says it's a red-colored citrus-flavored soft drink, whereas I think it should be called a citrus-colored red-flavored.
Yeah, citrus is a capacious term, isn't it? You know, what does that mean? Citrus.
This Wikipedia entry is a bit cheeky, actually. It describes it as the offspring of Vimto and Iron Brew.
Why not just go the whole hog and say the bastard offspring?
It's not bad. I quite like it, but I haven't seen it in ages. Yeah, so we're just shooting the shit, but we're done.
Yeah.
Usual bollocks. Subscribe to the channel. Watch old videos so I can get my view time up, and so I can monetize it. Tabletopless is on hiatus for a month, I think, and we'll see how things go from there. So that means my Wednesday nights are going to be free for a while, but I'll probably just work. So, yeah. So to reiterate, next time Tunnels and Trolls, but that's in 2 weeks. Next week should be T-shirts, Darwin's World game over on T-Shirted Historians channel. Go and subscribe to that as well. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thanks for running it.
Yeah, thanks for
very
running
good.
it.
Indeed, thank you.
Thanks,
Very good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I needed a fun evening, so that was good. All right. Ciao. I'll get some sleep, and you should probably do that too, depending what the time is where you are. Later.
later.
Bye bye.